Hi, Peter.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good, actually.
That's good. How's the drive in for you?
It was not bad. There was a lot of traffic on 494, but it took some side roads, and
That's good.
yeah, and I kind of enjoyed the scenic drive today. So
That's good. Yeah, anything to avoid 494. I know it can be terrible.
yeah, it wouldn't be so bad if people learned how to merge.
Minnesota drivers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
Did you do anything for the 4th of July?
Yeah, we did. We went up north to my folks' cabin, and it was nice just to get away and spend some time with my daughter, kind of out of the house, out of her room, just kind of.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like, I don't think you've mentioned her really leaving the house too often, so.
Yeah, well, some days, it goes where she'll be stuck in the house for a couple weeks, and then maybe she'll get the energy to venture out every once in a while. But this was the first time that we'd actually gone somewhere, stayed somewhere for, I don't know, 6 months, 7, 8 months.
Wow.
That wasn't the hospital.
Yeah, that must have been nice for everybody involved.
It was, yeah. It was a nice break.
Good. Was your wife able to get time off of work?
She did, yeah. That was really nice. We weren't sure if she was going to be able to, and yeah, she made it up there, and it was fun. It was a good time.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So last time I saw you, you told me that you had received some news on your daughter's condition. Not that it was worsening, but it was just kind of
Right, it
plateaued. Has anything happened in the meantime? Have you been to the
No, we haven't been to the doctor. It doesn't seem like she's getting any worse. I'm not a doctor or anything, but yeah, I don't know that she's getting any better either. But seeing her up at the cabin, kind of smiling and having a good time, at least kind of made it seem to me that she was getting better. So
That's good.
yeah, maybe I'm just fooling myself, but yeah, it was just, I guess, looking at it differently. So.
How did that make you feel when you saw her happy and out?
I don't know if it makes sense. It made me feel lighter. I don't know, that's stupid maybe, it doesn't make sense, but I felt, I don't know, maybe like a weight was lifted off of me, or I felt happy.
That's wonderful. You haven't felt happy in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, yeah. So, my brother and his wife were up at my folks' place as well, and he owns a bar.
Okay.
And he offered me a job as a bartender, which is something I used to do in college, and so I haven't decided on whether I'm going to take it or not, but so that was some good news.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. I'm apprehensive about whether or not if I take it, am I going to be able? Am I going to be able to live up to that commitment? Because I haven't with my last 2 jobs, and I don't know. I think I'm still riding a little bit of a high from this past weekend, and I'm afraid that sooner or later I'm going to come back down and not show up to work and not want to get out of bed, and then I'll be disappointing my brother as well as everybody else I've already been disappointing. So.
Did you have this discussion with him at all?
I didn't. No, he offered the job. He said he knows things have been tough, and I told him I'd think about it.
Well, that's good progress, because I believe the last time we spoke, you weren't considering working. You were kind of, I believe you said you had just applied for public assistance.
Right.
So.
Well, I guess I hadn't looked. It just kind of, the opportunity found me.
Right.
So.
It's wonderful when that happens.
Yeah, it's nice to have a white cloud over me
Yeah.
for once instead of a dark cloud. So.
Right. You mentioned the weight being lifted. I'm sure, just the prospect of having something else to look forward to might have helped you in that capacity.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It is nice to have some good opportunities weighing on me as opposed to always thinking about, my daughter, always thinking about my sister, it's a nice break.
Yeah. I know we've talked a lot about your daughter. We've not really talked much about your sister. I know that she passed in the last year. Sounds like you were close.
Yeah, we were really close. Yeah, she was a big part of helping me grow up. She was a couple years older than me, and so she always looked out for me. And I was actually going through some old emails this past week, cleaning out my inbox.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into a couple that she had sent me before she died, and it was really tough to read them. They were pretty benign. It was, just stupid emails,
Mm-hmm.
but it was hard reading them. It was really emotional, but afterwards I felt a little bit better. It seems silly, because I didn't uncover any kind of profound message in the emails or anything, but it just made me feel better to read those. And that was right before we went up north, so it kind of contributed to the good weekend.
It's wonderful. Did you ever feel like you took proper time to grieve with your sister's passing? I know that she passed, and shortly after you had news of your daughter and her condition.
That's a good question. I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't really remember a lot of what happened around that time. I found out about my sister's death through my brother, and I ended up drinking a lot over the next week or so. And then it was right after that my daughter was diagnosed, so I hadn't really thought of it before. Maybe I hadn't. Maybe I hadn't given enough time to grieve for my sister before moving on to my daughter. I don't know, maybe that's not fair to my daughter. I was being too selfish.
It sounds like when you read those emails, it was a sort of grieving process, but you were able to feel a bit better after reading it. Maybe that was part of the process for you.
Yeah, maybe you're right. That makes sense.
I think it's, I don't think it would be taken away from your daughter to take the time you need to deal with issues yourself. I think that's, something most people should do. It's a healthy thing to do.
Yeah, when you say it, it makes sense. But when I think it, not that it doesn't make sense, but I feel guilty, and I feel selfish, you know, and then, of course, as I take on those feelings, they attach right to the feelings of guilt that I already have and the feelings of depression that I already have. But when you say it, I don't know, maybe it makes me feel like I'm justified in wanting to feel, wanting to grieve.
Well, we could do a little bit of that in session. I mean, that's what I'm here for. If you want to say something about your sister, like I said, you've mentioned that she passed, but you've spoken very little of it. And each person grieves their own way. So sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, talking about memories of your sister, or any little thing can help you in that process. And you don't necessarily have to involve your family or burden your family with any of these thoughts. You're always welcome to talk about it here.
Well, that's good to know. I don't know that I want to. Not right now, anyway.
Sure. I just wanted to give you that option.
Well, that makes sense. That's good to know.
On another note, last week we had discussed you potentially talking with your wife.
Right.
You said that you hadn't mentioned any of your feelings really with her because you were worried that if she had not noticed certain things, that if you drew it to her attention, that you might get an adverse reaction.
Right.
Were you able to speak with her at all?
You know, when I left last week, I didn't want to. That was the first time I'd actually kind of vocalized those fears about talking about things, bringing her attention to things that she may not know. And as I said it, you know, I felt kind of stupid because chances are she knows. Chances are anything that I would say, you know, it's not. My wife's not dumb. If I tell her, hey, by the way, I can't hold down a job, it's not like she isn't already aware of that. So, and when I talked about it last week, as the words were coming out of my mouth, I knew I was wrong. And so, yeah, as we were up north, I talked to her about it. I was able to open up a lot. I was able to open up a lot. And, yeah.
How did she react?
You know, better than I thought she would. She was actually happy that I talked to her about it. And I think she was just happy that I talked to her about anything. But yeah, I thought, you know, my fear is that she would be angry and that she would have this epiphany about how worthless I am. And, you know, that didn't happen at all. In fact, she may have, I don't know, had the opposite. She seemed to be happy that I was talking to her about it, and I don't know. In a sense, it made me feel like she valued me more, which seems stupid.
It's not stupid. Sometimes I think people have worst case scenarios set up in their heads, and it's usually a lot less difficult when you actually are in the situation and get the reaction. If you never say anything, there's not any real potential to solve anything or get a different reaction.
Huh. Yeah, you know, that makes sense.
I think it's wonderful that you took the initiative and did have that conversation with her.
Well, thank you.
So you've been able to hone into some feelings of happiness, which is fantastic, because last week you said that you didn't think you would be able to feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot I said that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I felt for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just this past weekend, things just started to click into place, and it looks, I don't know, nothing is different, really. I didn't get any better news about my daughter. My sister didn't come back to life, but I just, talking to my wife was nice. Reading those emails was powerful. Seeing my daughter, as she reacting, around the family, that was nice. And then talking to my brother and getting that job opportunity it was a good weekend, and yeah, I felt happy. And now I'm afraid of what is around the corner.
I think most people are always afraid of what's around the corner. And in your situation, it could, it's not out of the ordinary at all. And it's a difficult situation to be in. I understand completely. I've dealt with death myself. And, a lot of question marks around it, but I think by you allowing yourself to be vulnerable and take chances and allow yourself to open up to these feelings, I think that's a really positive thing.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And, if I can continue down this path, which would be nice, because I feel better since we got back. I feel as good as I felt in a long time. And, it'd be nice to not go back to where I was.
Right. What do you think you can do to sustain this momentum? Not that every day is going to be perfect or, something wonderful will happen every single day, but is there anything you can do that will help you, or is there anything that you can picture doing that could help sustain these feelings that you had over the weekend?
I guess a big one would be being more open, talking more with my wife. 'Cause there's other stuff I could talk to her about, other fears I have, and I hadn't thought about what to do now, but I guess that would be one thing I could do, is not board myself back up into my solitude, to where my thoughts and my concerns about my wife, about my marriage, I keep to myself. So I could be more open with her. I could be more, honest. Not that I've been dishonest, I just haven't talked to her. So.
Have you ever considered, and this might be down the road, but there are groups for parents in similar situations as yourself, because, like you said, it is a burden, and I think maybe it would be helpful for you to be able to talk to other people in this situation.
Yeah, I don't. My daughter's doctor, he brought that same thing up, but I'm a pretty private person. I don't know that I'd be comfortable doing something like
Sure.
that.
Sure.
Not now, anyway.
Right.
Maybe later, but I don't know.
No, that's perfectly okay. I'm glad you've spoken with your doctor about things, and it's good that he mentioned it or she mentioned it.
Yeah.
So this is about the end of the session. Is there any questions or concerns that I didn't get to address that you would like to be?
No, I'm glad you brought up the idea of keeping this momentum going. Because I've just been, I've been feeling so good, better than I felt in such a long time, that it completely slipped past my consciousness to think about tomorrow, and so keeping pace so that tomorrow I feel the same or better as today. So, and maybe I would have asked about that, I don't know, but this is the best I've felt in a while, and I just kind of want to go and enjoy the sunshine.
Do that. Yeah, I know you have a job offer to consider, so congratulations on that again.
Thank you.
I think that would be at least a good option for you, whether you take it or not. It's nice to have the offer. It seems like your brother is being supportive, so maybe you could always reach out and talk to him too.
That's a good point. He is being supportive. He's normally an ass, but yeah, I have never considered using him as a ear to listen to my complaints. But yeah, maybe you're right.
He's probably affected, just like you are, with everything that's been going on.
Yeah, you may be right. I've just been so wrapped up in me that I haven't talked to him about it.
That's understandable. I mean, it's a difficult thing for somebody to deal with, let alone considering all the other options and everything out there.
Right.
Anyways, I hope you have a great week. I hope you can sustain your happy demeanor, and I wish you good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.